How is it that Joe Biden still has not been asked a question about the very credible sexual assault allegation against him by his former campaign staffer, Tara Reade? And her claims have been validated by a couple of people that she told at the time. Like back in 1993, I believe one of them was her friend, and then the other one was her brother. They have both corroborated that she told them at the time about this sexual assault that Joe Biden did to her by basically shoving her up against the wall and digitally penetrating her with his finger without any type of consent whatsoever from her. Just a huge abuse of power. He was a senator, she was a staffer, no consent, hugely, disgusting. And, the same thing that a lot of liberals on the left, people on, mainstream media, rightly criticized Donald Trump for all of his, sexual assault allegations that have come against him, both during the 2016 election cycle and now just crickets when it comes to Joe Biden, because it's very similar to Alyssa Milano. She was formerly a big proponent of the so-called Me Too movement when it served her political interests, but then when it came up around Joe Biden, someone who she supports politically, she's been quiet. Shh, don't talk about that. We only call out, people when they sexual assault or rape people when we disagree with them politically. If they're a Democrat, if they have a D next to their name, and if I support them, then I don't want to talk about that. Shh, stay quiet. Joe Biden protects my political interests. He's not going to come after my wealth and power, so we gotta prop him up, even if he's a rapist, even if he has dementia, even if he supported the Iraq War, even if he doesn't support Medicare for all. He's good for me personally. I don't care if he's potentially out there sexually assaulting staffers back in the 90s. That doesn't really matter to me. Let's not focus on that. Let's focus on Trump. Let's focus on, Kavanaugh. Let's focus on those people, not Democrats. Look the other way. Don't look at what Joe Biden's doing. That's what, unfortunately, a lot of people in the mainstream media are doing right now, and it just, unfortunately, reveals their hollow commitment to social justice and human rights and believing women. And I'm not to say that, obviously we should believe everybody without any type of evidence or due process. What I am saying is that we should take these allegations seriously, investigate them, listen to Tara Reade. Again, her story had been corroborated by two people at the time. She tried to report it to the Time's Up Legal Defense Fund, but they totally are a corrupt organization too, who a top aide on Joe Biden's campaign was connected to them, and they said there was a conflict of interest. She's tried to report it to different mainstream media outlets, all of these things, and it just unfortunately shows how disgusting and corrupt a lot of these people are, and all they really care about is protecting their own wealth and power and increasing that. And it doesn't matter if they throw these very credible sexual assault allegations against Joe Biden to the side to protect their own interests. That's the type of people that we're dealing with here. And unfortunately, oftentimes the people that are able to rise to positions of power, whether it be in the corporate media or in the government and, the House or the Senate or whatever, are the people who are willing to say and do anything to get to those positions of power. And then when they have it, they just say fuck off to everybody else. And if it doesn't serve them politically to make them more wealthy or to entrench their power even more, then they don't support it. And this is just another clear example of that. And I mean, the Democratic Party does not care about you. The corporate media does not care about you. They don't care if the candidate that they prop up has a very credible sexual assault allegation against him. They'll say, well, I mean, it's only one. Donald Trump has a lot more, sexual assault or rape allegations against him. So let's support the lesser of two rapists here. Let's support the lesser of two evils here. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. These are the type of mental gymnastics that these people are engaging in order to prop up Joe Biden with the very serious and obvious and sad cognitive decline, the total lack of enthusiasm around his campaign, the air of corruption with, Hunter Biden and Ukraine, the decades-long horrible policy track record with things like, again, Iraq War, NAFTA, PNTR, wanting to cut Social Security, Medicare, the bankruptcy bill, the drug war, bragging about working with segregationists, not supporting Medicare for all during a fucking pandemic, and then this very serious and disgusting sexual assault allegation against Joe Biden. I mean, it's hugely, hugely troubling that the lengths that these these so-called, liberals are willing to take in order to justify voting for somebody who has very serious and obvious cognitive decline. I mean, for God's sakes, did you see the interview that he was giving with CNN? I believe it was Anderson Cooper and Sanjay Gupta, and Joe Biden just completely making no sense whatsoever, not even 1 cent. Not even 2 cents, 0 cents whatsoever, and they would rather prop him up than have a mild social democrat like Bernie Sanders who just wanted to catch us up with the rest of the world. They would rather prop up the senile, alleged rapist, warmonger, corporatist, neoliberal centrist Joe Biden than actually give us a candidate who's actually would at least tepidly fight for the working people in Bernie Sanders. They'd rather prop up Joe Biden with all of that baggage and then, try to actually make the United States work for the working class and not just the top 1%. Hugely, hugely disgusting. If this doesn't show why we need to break out of this duopoly, I don't know what does. Peace. Much love.